President Trump has made a strong statement opposing any Israeli plan to annex Judea and Samaria. And he's been meeting with Arab and Israeli leaders to stop the fighting in Gaza.
Israel is reminding the world that the conflict began when Hamas invaded on October 7th. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl has more.
President Trump says he had good talks with Middle East leaders, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, about ending the war in Gaza.
We're trying to get the end of the Gaza situation. It's really bad, very bad. And we think it could happen. Maybe it could happen pretty soon. We want the hostages back. We want the bodies back. And we want to have peace in that region.
But he forcefully rejected any plans by Israel to declare sovereignty over biblical Judea and Samaria, also known as the West Bank.
Well, I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Netanyahu's government has been talking about annexing the territory in response to multiple nations recognizing a Palestinian state. More than 700,000 Israelis live in Jewish communities there, as well as around 3 million Palestinians in their own cities and villages. Even President Trump has said the UK, France, and multiple other nations are giving a prize to Hamas by recognizing a Palestinian state. Netanyahu has said he will announce his response to the move after he meets with Trump at the White House on Monday. It's his fourth invitation there since Trump took office, more than any other world leader. The prime minister arrived in New York Thursday ahead of his UN speech. His office launched a campaign in New York called Remember October 7th, using dozens of huge billboards and trucks around the UN and Times Square. It's to remind world leaders and the public of the atrocities perpetrated by Hamas on that day and the brutality of the terrorist organization that is still holding 48 hostages in Gaza. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas addressed the UN General Assembly via video after the Trump administration denied him a visa. Nevertheless, he said he is ready to work with Trump, Saudi Arabia, France, and the UN to implement a peace plan proposed earlier this week.
Today we say clearly, peace cannot be achieved if justice is not achieved, and there can be no justice if Palestine is not freed.
Palestinian groups like Hamas and the PA believe a free Palestine includes getting rid of Israel altogether. Despite talk of peace in New York, war continues in the Middle East. Dozens of Israeli Air Force jets struck military targets in Yemen following a Houthi drone attack on Eilat that evaded Israeli air defenses and wounded 44 people.
We struck the command headquarters of the Houthis' general staff, compounds, and additional military camps belonging to the security and intelligence apparatus. We will continue to act with force against the terrorist Houthi rule.
In Gaza, IDF spokesman Brigadier General Effie Dufresne says the Air Force is striking about 200 terror targets per day while continuing the humanitarian and civilian effort to evacuate Gaza civilians for their protection. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, these are trying days for Israel. We stand with Israel in the middle of this conflict, and we join with them in saying Hamas started this, and they started it on October 7th. They have been in control of Gaza since supposedly the free elections back in 2005, 2006. All of that was done under the Bush administration. Israel withdrew from there, withdrew its citizens from there, and left it to the Gazans to govern. And in that, they elected Hamas. They didn't elect the Palestinian Authority. They didn't elect Abbas. What they did was they elected Hamas, and what the first thing Hamas did is turn on the Fatah political party, and they killed them. They took them to the top of the buildings and threw them over the side to kill them. That's the brutality that Hamas is, and that's what's been in control of Gaza since 2006. So let's not ignore that history, and to recognize a Palestinian state in the middle of all of this is a reward for the terrorist acts. We cannot do that. This is absolutely a time where we need to stand with Israel.